Let's move on to those trending topics now. There we go. First up, hashtag Eusebius McKaiser. And yeah, this was a shock yesterday. Absolute shock. And still trying to process, all of this at the moment. He was fine yesterday, still sending messages to friends and going about his life and, what he does. And then all of a sudden, he was no more. It was really sudden. And, condolences to Nduduzo, his partner, his dad, his sisters, friends, and everyone that he loved and cared for. Eusebius McKaiser. We'll talk more about this in the final hour of the show. All right, moving on to the next one, and that one is hashtag Putin. And of course, this has to do with the BRICS summit in South Africa. Mostly when it is trending at this point here, it's because of what South Africa is likely to do. So there was also talk yesterday about Putin and him talking about, what he intends to put on the table later at the BRICS summit. And many people saying, well, yeah, this is confirmation that he is coming. And I think Putin has not minced his words on this one. He's coming. So it remains to be seen what South Africa is going to do about it. We saw yesterday some developments in terms of talking about amnesty for the leaders. But yes, that time edging ever closer. So it's not too long before we know how this one's going to play out. Moving on to the next one. I think that's Pfizer. So this is about Pfizer having lost a case in the UK, all to do with COVID-19, and there is a lot being said and many challenges being brought against Pfizer at the moment. And of course, also challenging some of the trial results that Pfizer had put out. Many people accusing Pfizer of having gone ahead with the COVID-19 vaccine distribution, knowing full well that some of the results were perhaps not as favorable as they could have been, ought to have been. But yes, that of course also ongoing with Pfizer and some of the challenges against the pharmaceutical giant. And the final one, hashtag personal loans. That's what it should say, personal loans. And this is to do with the US trying to raise their debt levels. So the United States has decided, I know how I just don't have it off the top of my head, but they are looking to raise government debt. It, of course, has to go through the parliamentary channels there, but they are trying to push this through. And, of course, there are those who are agreeing with that and those who are not. But the Twitterati talking essentially about the fact that if the U.S. government is doing that, looking at what people are doing in their personal capacity in terms of taking out personal loans just to survive this very tumultuous period in our economies. So that's why personal loans are trending this morning, and that's where we're going to leave it with our trending topics.